I have 50 hours played on Black Widow. 50 hours. I could be feeding my kids right now, but instead I did this. I like this character so much that I changed my in-game name to Focus Widow. My highest kill game with her is 57. My highest kill streak is 49, which technically I went 50-0. So this is annoying. But I think I know what I'm doing on Black Widow. I was able to climb almost a Grandmaster with her. I put in a lot of time learning her. This is going to be the official Black Widow tutorial for Marvel Rivals Season 2. For the settings, I'm going to keep this very simple. Turn all of this off. Bind your kick and melee to something that you can instantly press. Let's talk about aim. The number one aiming tip that I can give you as a Black Widow main is matching enemy movement. So here's what I mean. This magic, let's say right here, this one right here is my target, and she moves to the left. It is much harder to stay on her. Whereas if you match her movement, let's say, boom. Now I'm keeping her in the center of my screen. My tracking is better because I'm matching her movement. Okay, but the moment I go to opposite direction, let's see, hold on. All right, move to the left, please. Move to the left. Now I'm kind of trying to find her, right? But if I'm matching her movement, look how much smoother that is, you know? Follow her movement. She's staying in the center of my screen. Boom, easy. That's what you want. The second aim tip that I could give you guys is predicting where they will go and kind of leading your shots. This is especially important for Storms, Johnny, I call him Fireboy, Iron Man's. You know, you always want to predict your shots. So this is very important. If your shot is feeling off, you need to adjust and start doing this. If you're off, that way you can start hitting shots and being effective for your team. Right here, I know a Storm is going to come, right? Boom, she's coming. Boom, she's coming. I know one's coming. I'm not looking at her, right? But they always do this pattern in game as well. I know for a fact that if I just chill out, she's going to come to me. So you don't always have to just, you know, try and chase them, because sometimes, you know, they're kind of difficult, right? So you want to predict your shot. Sometimes they will go into it. The third aim tip that I can give you guys as a Black Widow main is finding the correct sensitivity. And I'm going to give you guys a little trick on how to do that. So what you want to do is, let's spawn in a Hawkeye. It doesn't have to be someone too small. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be like a Mantis. You know, she has a super small hitbox. It could be someone like Hawkeye who's like not too big, not too small. All right. You want to walk back and forth. And if you could keep your mouse on the player model, you're probably at a good sense for you. If you're all over the place and you're like constantly having to readjust, you need to lower your sense. Control is everything on this character. All right, guys. So the fourth tip I could give for you when aiming is constantly jumping. I know it's kind of, it sounds weird, but I'm gonna show you guys what I mean here. Constantly, you're gonna be going against Groots. You're gonna have Groots on your team. You're gonna have Magnetos on the other team. You're gonna have Doctor Strange's on the other team. It's completely irrelevant. You still need to hit shots. I'm constantly jumping to hit my shots here. And one thing I have noticed when jumping, I need to summon my Groot. My Groot balls are gone. Sometimes I noticed it's easier if you kind of let your fall carry your aim. Whenever you're dealing with a Groot, sometimes you could just fall into your shot. Easy. Boom. Just like that. Boom. Easy. I'm not even moving towards him. Black Widow's ult is super OP if you just use it the right way. First, you're going to want to one-shot someone and then immediately pull it out and do that. All right? That's kind of the combo with your ult. Now, what
here they come.
I need people to understand, at least in high elos, getting one kill with your ult is worth it. Because use a Black Widow, you're focusing healers, all right? So here's what would happen in an actual game. I would come down here, right? Let's say I have my ult. Both of these are healers. I would shoot one. Now, he's dead. The other healer is slowed and damage prone, ready to die. Your ult is really good. Really good at killing healers, especially because most healers don't think to counter ult her ult. A lot of people aren't even used to hearing Plasma. Her audio cue just doesn't sound scary. Second, you get the shot off pretty quick. So if I was playing a real game, here's how I would come around at ult.
Plasma, like fish in a pit.
Now both healers are dead. Healer's gone. And even if you're not that accurate, and let's say you missed the second guy, he's still damage prone. You still have 5 other teammates. He's still low health. He will probably die. Her ult is also very good for when the enemy is grouped up. We need to stay on point.
Plasma? Like
Let's go.
fish in a barrel. You're not working alone.
No more sparks.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have winner. That's 3.
Let's go. As you guys saw by the clip I just played there, my ult damage prone the entire team. It got a kill, and all of them were slowed down, and my team was able to just completely clear out the point. This is a perfect example of how your ult wins games. And it just getting 1 kill. All it did, the ult itself only got 1 kill, but it was extremely OP in that situation. But you do want to be careful, because if your ult hits a mag shield or a strange shield, it's not going to do anything. So you want to make sure you angle it in a way to where it's not hitting either of their shields. Sometimes I'll shoot a wall that everyone's next to, or sometimes I'll just sit there with my ult and I'll wait for their shield to deplete and then I'll shoot it. But you want to make sure you don't hit the enemy shields. I'm also going to show you guys a quick clip of TimTheTatMan reacting to the #1 Widow, Xlek. Shout out to Xlek. Because when he was reviewing that, Xlek used his ult in a very interesting way, and it just goes to show how many different ways there are to utilize Black Widow's ult.
Bronze almost, or silver. Like the way he's piecing them up. He probably does here.
I am ready to put on a show.
It's kind of an interesting ult. That slows them all down, doesn't it? Can I go back? I have to. I'm just going to look at this because I've never really played against a high-level Widow. I want to see something. Does this slow the entire team down, even with this? Hang on.
Thanks so much. I am ready to put on a show. I need some help.
I'll be ship-shape in no time.
That ult is huge. They can't even get in to play with the Luna. That ult was massive. Luna is not, because she doesn't get, like, CC'd or whatever. Like, that ult slowed down the entire team. So they couldn't push point. Wow.
I'm going to play some clips of Spider-Man, because I'm going to try and teach you guys how to deal with Spider-Man as a Black Widow, because a lot of Spider-Men think that this shit's sweet. Guys. They think they could just run up on you and do whatever they want. And that's just not the case, because if you use your combos correctly and time them correctly, you will absolutely assassinate every Spider-Man that tries to dive you. He's a much easier kill than people make him out to be on Widow. Your kit cancels his ult along with canceling his plan of escape, leaving him open to a free no-scope plus damage dealt by your team. He also pauses every time he swings and every time he combos. He's very easy to shoot if you wait until the end of each swing when he pauses in the air. Even if he does combo you, if you're getting heals, you could land a free headshot on him when he uppercuts you. At the end of the day, what I'm telling you to do is you could cancel Spider-Man simply by laying your dick on the table. They want to 1v1 you. They believe you are trash and the easiest kill in the game. Telling them and showing them you could hold your own in a 1v1 has constantly shown success in either making them switch or at the very least playing way more passive. And for you, that 1v1 can be won pretty consistently if you're accurate. Her combo is absolutely disgusting. Every time he dives you, you need to press that kick immediately as soon as he touches you. That's the most important thing you could do when going against Spider-Man, because if you time it correctly, you will cancel his ult. I do want to know if Spider-Man has his Venom team up, you probably want to switch characters. He wins. In the middle of your kick, he will cancel it with his team up and insta-kill you. It's not worth it. Trust. Let's talk about combos. So one myth I'm about to debunk right now is a lot of people think the batons do more damage than a basic melee. Right here, you see how much damage that did. You see how much damage that did. It's the exact same thing. When you see people on YouTube Shorts or Twitch or wherever telling you that for your combo, you actually have to switch and do that, it's completely false, and all it does is add an extra button to your combo, and it just makes your life harder trying to do that. The only reason you would ever want to throw batons into your combo is just for style points, just because it looks cool. The other myth that I'm going to prove, which isn't really a myth, it's just that people who don't play Widow don't know, is that when you're zoomed in, It's a I headshotted him.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Is that her hip fire does less damage than if you're zoomed in. And it's a significant amount. It's almost, you saw it, it's almost double the damage whenever you're zoomed in. One more thing to note is that you could also melee cancel on Black Widow. So if you pay close attention here, you'll see that this bot gets hit twice. Let's start with her fastest combo, and it'll always be the most efficient one if you could land it and your accuracy is on point. That is a no-scope headshot leading to a kick.
Widow
Dead.
style.
Deleted. If you could pull this off in a game, they just die. They just die.
Double KO.
And remember when I was telling you guys that you wanted your kick keybind to something you could press instantly? Add this to the list of reasons why, because the moment you get that shot off, you want to throw your kick.
I like to make it sting.
Seeing as we just left the Spider-Man section, being at 15 seconds, that's a very long cooldown compared to most. So you really want to save your kick for when Spider-Man dive you, for when Black Panther comes through, when Magic is diving. Your kick is one of the best anti-dive abilities in the game, and with it having such a long cooldown, you definitely want to save it for when you're getting dove. Now let's talk about her main combo that you're gonna do. So your main
Bogies, here they
one-shot combo.
You can rest now, Bucky.
That's the main one-shot combo. Run up, shoot, kick. Then you're gonna pull them in with your kick, shoot again, dead. So just like this.
You can rest now,
Just
Bucky.
like that. I hit a headshot there, but as you guys saw from the first one, you don't need to hit a headshot. So this combo wasn't possible pre-season 2 because the kick didn't reset your chamber. So how it was in season 1.5 and 1 and 0 is you would do this and then you couldn't shoot. If you're dealing with someone who has extra health, like let's say Wolverine, you know, he has his passive ability here. You're gonna want to add a melee into your combo. So here's what you would do. You would come around here. Same combo. Melee. Done. Let's do it one more time.
Double KO.
So those are the only real combos that you will ever use. Another thing to note when doing your combo is if you kick someone and then they get blocked by something, you will not be able to bring them in and finish your combo. There are so many times that my combos get ruined because of things like this, and I'm gonna show you guys what I mean.
Widow's fight.
See, now she fell. She's safe. I couldn't finish my combo. Sometimes you want to be aware of your surroundings and the angle that you kick people because of this. But, you know, we all know in a real game that can be hard to do when you need to press your combo immediately when you're getting dove. But it is something to be aware of. Day 3 of recording this video. All right, let's get into how to deal with all the heroes in the game. For Groot, you're always going to want to keep jumping.
I've done things.
Always want to keep jumping. That's gonna be the same for Strange and Magneto. We already went over that, so I'm not gonna get into it too deep. For Venom and Captain America, I want you to completely ignore them. And when I say completely ignore them, I'm going to roll a clip right now that shows you exactly what I mean. Hella dead. Punisher dead.
Saving an empire.
Plasma.
Visit dead.
The world. There. Don't trip it
Looking for a new challenge.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Venom, I do not care about you, but if you really want to be taken care of like that. For Spider-Man, we had the Spider-Man section. For Bucky, it is important to note that you cannot cancel his ult with your stun. For Psylocke, whenever she enters her ult, you can actually kill her out of her ult. I've done this a couple times, and I'm going to show you guys a clip of me doing it in game.
I'll finish the job. Bogies, here they come.
Yo, that's Psylocke. Just know that this is, you know, very, very difficult to do. You have to have good timing. You have to hit the shot. A lot of getting Psylocke out of her ult is luck. But one thing to note is at the end of her ult, she will always be standing in the dead center of her ult circle. So you could get a free shot on her because she can't dash or turn invis right away, right after her ult. As a Black Widow, it is your job to destroy Loki clones. As a Black Widow, it is your job to destroy more squids. As a Black Widow, it's your job to take Punisher off his turret. As a Black Widow, stay away from this guy. He'll kill you, period. As a Black Widow, it's your job to kill every aerial in the game, meaning Storm, Iron Man, and Fireboy. It's also your job to kill Star-Lord out of his ult. As a Black Widow, if you have a Mantis damage boost, you can one-shot, headshot, Cloak and Dagger, Luna, and Invisiwoman out of their ults. I headshotted her out of her ult. She's done. This is a game-changing play, and it can be very difficult to do, but if you can land it, it changes the entire game and can single-handedly win you the game. One thing to note is if Jeff is ulting and you jump up, if you're still in the circle of his ult, he'll still swallow you. Just jumping up will not save you from his ult. The best tip I could give you for killing Rocket Raccoon is when we were discussing an aim, matching enemy movement, or mirroring. That's another thing you could call it. Rocket, you have to match his movement if you're going to want to shoot him because he's very quick. He's a small target. Killing him is much easier when you mirror him. Understand that Adam Warlock has limited heals. So while he can heal himself after you shoot him, he can only do that twice. So if you get him low after you see he has healed himself twice, he's completely prone to your shots moving forward. Mantis is a very scary healer to go against because she's a great DPS as well. I would not recommend challenging a Mantis unless if your kick is available and you can hit her with that combo. Stay away from this guy. You can shoot him from afar, but don't even try to combo him because he's him. You can one-shot combo Wolverine if his passive has already been used. Mr. Fantastic is a very killable character, but I would still recommend keeping your distance from him and not trying to combo him just due to all of his abilities that keep him alive. You don't really want to waste a kick on Mr. Fantastic because chances are he's gonna survive. Spider-Man, we had a whole section for this guy. No need to talk about that. Scarlet is one of your worst enemies. She's easily one of your counters. If you notice you're running into a lot of them, I would almost recommend banning her. Moon Knight is a terror on your team with his onks, which you need to destroy, and with his ult. You always need to be paying attention about where Moon Knight is because he's typically trying to take an off angle, and when they're taking off angles, they're alone, which makes them killable for you. Squirrel Girl is one that can be super annoying, but seeing as her shots have a travel time and they're not accurate, you could typically pick off a lot of Squirrel Girls from afar. Hella is Hella. One of you will have better aim, and that's the one who will win. Hawkeye's Hawkeye. One of you will have better aim, and that's who will win. Black Panther is a pretty hard dive character to counter with your kick just because of the speed of his combos. You can land a kick on him, and it's still your job with you having a kick to help with dive protection. So he's someone that you're gonna have to deal with, and even if you are running into a good Black Panther and he's wrecking you, unless if you're in rank, I would recommend not switching. That way you could get that practice of trying to kick a Black Panther, because when you get it down, you can counter him, but it does take a while to get the timing down on countering a Black Panther with your kick. Magic is actually pretty killable, but you want to make sure that you kick her when she's out of a portal or she doesn't have a portal, because if you try to kick her in the middle of a portal, or if you try to pull her in on your second kick while she's in the middle of a portal, your combo will be canceled. Emma Frost, stay away from her. Thor, stay away from him. It's your job to destroy penny mines. Hulk, stay away from him. Thing and Magneto, I'm just going to group them together. They can cancel your ult if their shield is up and your ult hits their shield. You want to always be aware of their shield, and just like we talked about with Groot and earlier when we were in the aim section, you want to be jumping all the time and just shooting over them. But kind of like Venom, you're never really going to target them. Iron Man stands still whenever he does his ult. He's the freest kill in the game while ulting.
Hold reality together.
Maximum!
Shut up. One thing I would like to briefly go over, which doesn't require too much time, is just your stamina conservation. Stamina conversation. Stamina conservation. You almost never want to waste your sprint going into a fight and wasting all of your jumps, because when you get attacked by people like, let's say, Iron Fist, Venom, Hulk, Thor, The Thing, these are all people you need to get away from. So whenever you're flanking on the back line, the last thing you want to do is waste all your sprint going there. Almost every hero in the game is slow. Just go at your normal pace. That way, if you need to escape, you could run away, jump away. That way you can do whatever you need to get back to your team. Also, one thing to note is with your stamina, I don't know if the bug is still active. I did go into a quick match to see if it was still happening. It wasn't consistent in game, so I'm still not positive. But whenever your stamina gets below half, if you try to use one of your super jumps, it'll glitch you back to the floor. The only fix to this is saving your stamina correctly and making sure you always have some for your jumps. In game, you may notice if you try to do your super jump when it's low, that'll happen. Day 4 of recording this video. Let's talk about some bugs on Black Widow, because season 2 has pretty much shadow nerfed us and there's been a lot of them. First, we have a bug where it will not let you shoot, and I'm gonna play a clip so you guys can see what I mean. Why can't I shoot? I can't shoot. I swear to God, I can't shoot. Look at this. The fix to this is simply reloading. This bug only happens at the end of your clip when you use all 15 bullets. She's supposed to automatically reload herself, but occasionally it won't do that and you'll just be trying to shoot and nothing will happen. You have to just press your reload button and that'll fix it. Second, we have a black screen bug. It only happens whenever you aim in, and it doesn't happen too often, but it can mess you up. I've had this only flash, but I've also had it happen for a solid 2 seconds before. That only happened one time. There is currently no fix to this. I've been told this has been in the game since season 0. Hopefully they do fix it. Just be aware of it. The rocket's gonna be... What the f... Oh, yep, I just got the black screen. That happened to you. The third bug is sometimes your combo won't rechamber your shot. So whenever you go to do your combo, that'll happen and you won't be able to shoot. So essentially your combo reverts back to season 1.5 how it did work. Doesn't happen all the time, but I have had sessions where it happens to me once a game, and that is kind of frequently. Just be prepared for it to happen. That way if it does, you can adjust accordingly. The last thing I want to go over is switching, because a lot of people, especially I've noticed in this community, they are very quick to give up. Like, let's be real, a lot of y'all are very quick to give up. One character isn't working and you immediately switch. I get that's part of the game, and when you're running in a 6 stack, you know, switching can be very important, and it is important that you know more than one character. With that being said, I want to use this guy as an example. He's currently number 37 in the world. I just stumbled upon him, and if we go to his stats right here and let's look at all seasons, this guy has over 100 hours put into Widow, and his secondary character is Hela. Why do you think his secondary Why do you think his secondary character is Hela? It's because you still have to aim on Hela. So even when he can't play Widow, he's still warmed up. His shot's still warmed up. Same with Star-Lord here as his 3rd, and then Bucky on his 4th, and Hawkeye on his 5th. All of these characters you have to aim on. So if you are forced to switch, I would highly recommend you guys learn another character that can keep you warm for Widow. If you want to be good at a character like this, you got to put the time in. If you look at Xlek, he had over 300 hours played on Black Widow, and then he said he had over 3,000 on Widowmaker in Overwatch. The reason they're so good and they could climb on these characters is because they actually put the time in. I'm not telling you to go sell every single game, but don't jump between character. Don't just get her Lord and then think, you know, you're gonna climb to Celestial. These guys have over hundreds of hours put into these characters. So if you're actually gonna dedicate yourself to this character and want to climb the ranks with this character, it's gonna require time. But anyway, y'all, that's gonna be the end of my Black Widow tutorial. I really appreciate it if you made it all the way through this video and didn't skip around and you actually watched the whole thing. I mean, you a real one if you did that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I put 4 days of work into this. Obviously, I had to work around my my stream schedule and having a full-time job and all that. So when I say 4 days, I don't mean like, you know, 100 hours, but I definitely, every single day I've gotten home from work, I've recorded more content for this. I've, you know, been brainstorming what I could do, what I could add. Am I missing any information? You know, I did everything I possibly could to make this the best possible tutorial for you guys. So hit a like for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.